if a sine x plus cosine x is equal with 1.5, then what is a sine cubic x plus cosine cubic x? So first of all, let's take a sine x sine x sine x plus cosine x is equal with a half plus cosine x is equal with a half. If this is equal with a half, then we square everything here. If we square everything, we are going to get a sine x plus cosine x. So everything here is in a square. Cosine x. Everything here is a square. The left side. And the right side, if we are squaring right side, is going to be 1 over 4. However, because we have a sine x plus cosine x square is like a algebraic formula, a plus b square, which is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this we can write as a sine square x plus 2 sine x cosine x cosine x plus cosine square x, and everything is equal with cosine square x. Everything is equal with 1 over 4. So the right side stays the same as it is. But don't forget here, sine square x plus cosine square x is equal with 1. And 1 plus 2 sine x cosine x, 2 sine x cosine x, two sine x cosine x is equal with 1 over 4. Here was a 1 over 4, I'm sorry. And this is 1 over 4. So I'm taking here one shortcut. Now, minus 1 both sides, and this side here, so minus 1 here, and minus 1 here. And 2 sine x, 2 sine x cosine x is going to be equal with, so this is elementary mathematics here on the right side, 1 over 4 minus 1 is a minus 3 over 4. Minus 3 over 4. So this is very obvious. You can check it. If I multiply everything by 1 over 2, if I multiply everything here by 1 over 2, this side and this side, and for instance, so 1 over 2 is going to be here, for instance here, and 1 over 2 is going to be here, minus 3 over 4 times 1 over 2 times 1 over 2. If I'm going both sides, what's going to happen here? 2 with the 2 is going to simplify. This 2 with this 2 is going to simplify. And what I'm going to get here, I'm going to get sine x cosine x, sine x sine x, cosine x is equal with minus 3 times 1 is minus 3 over 8. So this is the final. But now I need to find this number here, sin cubic x, cosine cubic x. And as we know from the formula, the sum of the addition cubics, so x cubic plus y cubic, we already know this formula from the algebra, is equal with x plus y time x squared plus time x squared minus xy plus y cubic, y squared, I'm sorry. So we already know this formula. But now here let's substitute everything when we have with the x in the same formula. Let us substitute with the sine x, and whenever is a y with the cosine x. So here we're going to have sine x cubic, sine cubic x plus cosine cubic x, and we are just substituting here for x and y with the trigonometric function. And what we are going to get, the sine x plus cosine x. This equation is going to be very long because when I'm applying, when I am substituting, it's going to be very multiplication. So let me put a multiplication here because I don't want to go horizontally. Let me go here a little bit because in other side I want to leave for the other operation. Sine square x and minus sine x cosine x minus sine x cosine x. So here what we are doing, sine x cosine x, and here I have a plus cosine square x, so it takes a little longer time to write them. And now we have this sine cubic x cosine cubic x. Let's write again here sine x cubic x, sine cubic x plus cosine cubic x and let's see now what we can do here is equal. What we can do, sin x plus cosine x is equal to 1 over 2. We have it here. So instead of this here, we take in 1.5. So we have 1.5. So here we can substitute with the numbers. And time. Sine square x plus cosine square x. So these two terms, these two function, trigonometric function will give 1. And I have here a minus sign. I have a minus sine x times cosine x. But sine x, you see here sine x, cosine x is minus 3 over 8. But here is a minus sign, which I'm writing minus, and sine x cosine x is a minus 3 over 8. Is a 3 over 8. And now we are looking what we can get. So here are 2. And this is going to be this way. 1 over 2 is the time. So here was going to be here 8. But here is a minus because here was a minus. So it's going to be 1 plus 3 over 8. Because negative is a positive. And is 1 plus 3 over 8. So this is just a small, and here is 1 over 2, and this is a fraction. 8 over 8 is 1, plus 3 is 11 over 8. 11 over 8. And finally, when we multiply everything, this fraction, we get 1 times 11 is 11, and 2 times 8 is 16. So this is the final answer. So sine cubic x plus cosine cubic x is equal with 11 over 16. So this is the final result.